Welcome to this project video. In this project, we are going to make a simple box design. We are using a website called makercase.com to build our box template, and then we will import it into the Glowforge app. Let's get started. First, I pick Simple Box. On the left-hand side of the screen, you will see a bunch of settings that we can change. You can change the height, width, and depth of your box. I'm going to make mine a little bit taller and a little bit skinnier. Say I'm making a pencil holder. It will ask you if the dimensions are for the outside of the wood or the inside of the wood. I'm going to keep mine on outside. It will ask you the thickness of the material you are using. So in the Idea Lab, we have 1/8 inch wood, and that is what will be using today. I want my box to be open. So you'll see it disappears on the top. And then it's asking what kind of joints do you want the edge of the walls to have? So flat joints, you would need to have some glue, and then finger joints kind of pop together like puzzle pieces. So I'm going to use finger joints. You can change the size of the finger joints by dragging them. So I don't want too many finger joints, but that looks fine to me. When I'm happy with my settings, I'm happy with how it looks in this preview, I can click Download Box Plans. And right here it's labeled with which pieces of the box are what. And I don't actually want those labels because I don't want the Glowforge to try to engrave or score or do anything with these words. So I'm going to disable panel labels, and now I just have these red outlines, which is really what I want. And I'm going to download SVG. Now we go to the Glowforge app, and on the top we hit Create New Design, and I can upload a file. So I find that box SVG, and here it pops up on my screen. I'm going to move it so that I can see all of my box pieces. I could add things to my box. For starters, I can click the blue plus mark in the middle top of the screen and type in an image that I would want and pick whichever one I like. And then I can click it and drag it so it's on part of my box. To change the size of an image, you just have to find one of those white dots. If you click away from it to get those dots back, you just have to click on the image, and then I can click and drag it. Now remember, when you are placing these, think about which part of the box you are placing them on. For example, I know that these are one of the side pieces because it has a top flat edge, and then the finger joint is on all the other 3 sides. If I put this on this piece here, this piece has a finger joint on all 4 sides, which means it's the bottom of my box, and I probably wouldn't see that flower. The other thing you can choose to add, if you would like, is some text. The T tool on the top middle column will open the text bar. It will say your text here on the screen, but where you have to type is the right-hand side here. So I can just put my name and hit enter on my keyboard. And then I can play with all of these settings to make my text look different. And when I find one I like, again, can drag it onto my box, and I can use those white dots to make my text bigger if I so choose. And then there's a simple design on my simple box. All I have to do now is make sure I have the proper settings before I send it to the Glowforge, our laser cutter. I am using wood that we sell in the Idea Lab, so the proper setting is medium basswood plywood. If you click this, you'll see a bunch of different kinds of settings. You can type in your setting. Most likely it will say unknown material when you are using the Glowforge for the first time, so you will have to click this box and type in medium basswood plywood or scroll through and select it. If you're using material not sold in the Idea Lab and bringing in a different type of wood, you might need to do some research on the Glowforge community forum to find proper settings for that type of material. Not all wood cuts well, so I would definitely do research before you purchase a wood to work on this project. With my settings chosen, your screen should look something like this. All the box pieces should be orange, so that means you're set to cut. And your decorations should be a pink or a purple for engrave or score. Engrave will fill in my letters all the way. If I wanted to change my name to Score and just do an outline of my letters, I would find that part of my design on the left-hand side, and I can pick a different setting on top here, and I can pick Score. So now we'll just outline my name instead of filling it all in. Then I would hit print on the top right-hand side of the screen, and it will give me an estimated time for my project. Before you start a project, make sure to turn the external ventilation fan all the way to 10. If you need help, please ask a staff member. And then click the blue flashing button on the Glowforge and it will get started. This design looks like it will take roughly 12 minutes to cut and engrave and score my picture onto it. And then I will need to glue my pieces or assemble my pieces after. That's it for this project. Thanks for watching.